What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Respect the Game podcast. My name is Edward, named after a trilogy, and that being my pops. Shout out to my mother and my grandmother for helping raise me too. Please follow at EMAX Stats for all your up-to-date high school, collegiate, and pro sports coverage. We'll keep you up to date with everything, and I promise to not disappoint on the latest news going around in the sports world.
Hey, man, SoundHeart is charismatic, good excellence at its finest. That's Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, Snapchat. Your mama phone number if you dig on the hotline, instant, you know what I'm saying? Quick contact, favorites, all that, man. Let's go.
Yo, it is the host with the most and blows the most smoke. Black Beats, rap plug, hip hop plug, you already know. Be sure to check out Talkin Smoke on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere you go best podcast from. That's where you can find Talkin Smoke. Let's go.
Before y'all go, Darnell, your audio is a little cracky, just so you know.
No, that shit.
What's going on, everyone? This is Coach Johnson. I am the husband of Jordan. I am the father of Harper and Deuce. And tonight, I might bring the controversy. I don't know, but this should be my final episode as a regular on the Respect the Game podcast. I really do appreciate all the time that we've had together with the fellas and with the audience. Hopefully, you are able to see the game a little bit better, reason out your thoughts a little bit clearer, and enjoy the time we had together.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. I am the one and only Sedacious Xavier Miles. And on behalf of me and my brothers, I just want to say thank you so much for listening and tuning in and subscribing and sharing and liking. We really appreciate it. It doesn't go taken for granted. Take it away, bro.
Yo, hey, man. So this is Coach Johnson's last episode on the podcast, so it's only right that we get it started off with the Super Bowl, man. The Super Bowl. Rams defeating the Bengals 23-20. None of us at all, going back to our picks at the beginning of the season, had the Cincinnati Bengals even making the playoffs. So for them to make it all the way to the Super Bowl, I think is a testament to how wild of an NFL season we had, but it has officially now come to an end, again, with the Rams defeating the Bengals 23-20. Fellas, whoever wants to take it away first, did the Bengals lose this game or did the Rams win the game?
Well, I'll start. I actually didn't watch the game live.
So, Coach, let me stop you right there. So I don't think you should go first in the sense and the spirit of this being your last day.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
I had to set you up for that, and that's the desired reaction I needed. But I watched the game thoroughly, up and down. You could clearly see who was the more experienced team, and I think that's really actually what it boiled down to, experience. And then, hey, how many playmakers do you guys have, as opposed to how many playmakers does the opposing team have? And end of the game, man. In-game analysis, they doubled Cooper Kupp early, which was expected. He was able to shake free one time within the first half of a play of over 20-plus yards, but after that, he didn't really do too much of anything in the first half. As we all know, OBJ had a heck of a first half with a few receptions, a tutty, I believe on pace for, at the time, was on pace for about 120 yards, but unfortunately, towards ACL. So as the game progressed, man, the Bengals did, have some flashy, some strike plays. I think they did try to force it to Jamar early, maybe a little too often. And, but to their, not to their detriment, but to their ultimate, positive impact throughout the duration of the game, man. But Aaron Donald, man, I don't even think it's an argument anymore, man. He's the best defensive player of all time. When you needed that guy the most, he literally came through. First half, no tackles, no TFLs, no sacks. Second half, 4 tackles, 4 QB pressures, and 2 sacks, and 2 of them back-to-back. Should have been 3. It's crazy they didn't count that last one as a sack. Man, what can I say? timely plays. And, the Bengals stupidly stopped doubling Cooper Kupp all of a sudden in the second half. I don't know why they did that. And then Matthew Stafford literally force-fed him the ball literally for I think his last 12 throws went to Cooper Kupp. He was 12 for 12. It was absolutely amazing. I think his last 12 passes were completed, but I believe on that last drive, all 4 passes went to Cooper Kupp, if I'm not mistaken. So they literally said, hey, you helped get us here. I'll be damned, man. You're going to have to take us home or they're going to just have to stop you. And, sure enough, they weren't able to stop him, man. But Aaron Donald, man, goddamn, 3 people on him, 2 people on him, pulling the center, pulling the guard to no avail. The man still gets outside and makes the play. I just think it's not enough experienced Bengals, but watch out for the Bengals in the future here. But you can tell they were still wet behind the ears in some of those late game situations where I felt as though they probably should have maybe went in a different direction. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles, like Jim Carrey would say.
Good deal. So, like I said before, Sean Howard gave us that great soliloquy. I did not watch the game live. I did watch the replay, and I'm just looking at the game stats right now. A couple of things stand out. The time of possession was pretty even. The Bengals won the turnover battle, but the Bengals were only 21% on third down efficiency, and the Rams were 40%, which is league average. But big deal here. The Bengals were 1 for 3 in the red zone, so only scored 1 touchdown in the red zone. Even though they got there 3 times. The Rams, on the other hand, were 3 for 3 in the red zone. Even though, both teams got in the red zone 3 times. The Rams were able to score touchdowns 3 times, and the Bengals were only able to score once. So I mean, that's a major difference in the game there. So as far as who lost it, I mean. To me, the reason why I prefaced with it, I didn't see the game. The reason I didn't watch the game is because no matter who won the game, we could say, oh, the other team lost it because they've been doing this all year. There was no team in the NFL, the entire year that was dominant all throughout the year. And both of these teams were both, kind of good when they had to be, and always kind of disappointing when they, when you never expected it, and they never always put it together, full games together or string games together, where you're like, oh man, this is definitely the team, right? There's a reason why nobody except for 12 people in Cincinnati had the Bengals going to the Super Bowl, even when they were the number 1 ranked team in the AFC at one point during the middle of the season. It's because they were like, are they really that good? We don't know, right? And they were always underdogs every game they went into, except for I think their first playoff game. They were always underdogs because we don't know. And then even the Rams, right? Hey, Matthew Stafford gave us 2, right? He gave us 2 interceptions. So you're like, hey, Matthew Stafford might throw the game away. We never know, Are the Rams going to be able to put him away? We never know. So hey, the Rams, they've been there before. This is their second Super Bowl in 4 years. Congrats to them. Sean McVay's second time being there. So they were able to figure out a way to get it done. Hey, it was a magical run for the Bengals. So I would say that the Bengals lost it. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Rams had lost it because I don't know. So
they're all we thought they were.
Yeah, both teams are who I thought they were. That under 45 went. I did call it last pod. So I said I wasn't going to watch the game, but I did call the under 45. So.
Well, Coach, you're a man of analytics. I'll say this. I know you wasn't expecting it, but Matthew Stafford is the first quarterback in the, I believe, in the Super Bowl era to actually lead 3 game-winning drives in 3 straight playoff games. If you actually look it up, he literally led game-winning drives on the last drive of every single game this postseason, including the Super Bowl. So just something to take into account. Playoff Stafford, possibly. Who knows? But hey.
I mean, I don't know about playoff Stafford, but I mean,
yeah, we never seen him in the playoffs. So I mean,
we
if this is how
you've been in playoffs twice before this, didn't win a game.
Yeah, I know, but really seeing him, I'm talking about fully equipped, with a comparable and competent team, not just him and Calvin Johnson with a couple of Joe Blows off the street. No disrespect to anybody who played during that time, but y'all sucked. Excuse my language.
One of the things for me, I told myself, I was just like, hey, I think in order for Joe Burrow to do extensive damage in this game, yes, I know Aaron Donald, Von Miller, the Floyds of the world, I just felt like he had to also attack them with his legs. So I kind of just went into, I was like, hey, if Joe Burrow could get a crazy, which may or may not seem crazy to some, 40 to maybe 60 yards, just rushing, extending the play, getting up the field. You talk about those third down conversions. I think that would really put some pressure on the Los Angeles Rams defense. And then as I was like, oh man, they lost, and I was like, oh, hold on, let me go see about my theory of him rushing and possibly winning the game if he could do damage on the ground. Only 3 yards rushing in the game, and then on top of that, he was sacked 7 times. So obviously, we know Aaron Donald was elite, and he couldn't always get rid of the ball. But yeah, I think that would have been a big key for them being able to win the game, and Joe Burrow being able to do damage with his legs on the ground. I know, like you said, as first half, they in the first half, Aaron Donald wasn't really wreaking havoc. They was doubling him. But towards the end of the game, it started to look like, I don't know if they was getting comfortable, if they was getting lax, or if they felt like, Von Miller was giving us too much pressure on the weak side, so we're going to have to compensate and take our chances, or what. But I was just like, why did y'all stop doubling Aaron Donald?
What I think begins starting to happen, I know from a coverage standpoint, like I said, they went away from man coverage because Bengals aren't really comfortable in man. And as you can see, prime example, believe the man's name is Eli Apple. Not really a big fan within the New Orleans community right now or ever going forward, I believe. But he got abused Sunday night, man. It was first degree battery, man. He was getting abused out there, and they took advantage of him every chance he get. And they're a zone team. So if you already not comfortable playing man, why would you go play man down the stretch of a game knowing that that's your weak, that's your weak suit. That's not your calling card. They like to play a cover 3 zone. And, but Cooper Kupp, they move him inside and they move him outside. So he's able to pick apart that zone and sit down and idle down whenever he needs to. He's coach will tell you the guy is a route running technician, man.
Yeah.
Can't take that away from him. But I ain't gonna lie to you. Aaron Donald just decided I'm better than you. And I'm gonna tell you when it started. When the dude put his hands in his face, I say, yeah, you just pissed him off. You just pissed him off. That little on the sideline when he tackled Joe Burrow, pushed him out of bounds. Yeah, man. I say, that's not a wise move. Y'all already can't block him. Don't piss him off too.
Woke up a sleeping giant.
Oh yeah, they made it.
Yeah. Hey, Edward, I know we're supposed to talk about if Eli Apple sucks or not. So I brought him up. We can go ahead and get that discussion over with.
All right. So here's the thing, right? So starting off the pod, right? I'll just say me. I would label it like, he's trash. He sucks. And Coach Johnson would defend the players and say, well, hold on. It's not that he sucks. It's this. It's the coach. The coach is calling this play. He can only do what he's been told to do. This is his responsibility. That play doesn't show that he sucked. That was just miscommunication in the huddle. That guy might got turned off. So on and so forth, third, fourth in the field.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Eli Apple, and I tried, as much as I love the game of just sports in general, I do my absolute best to respect the professional athletes that dedicate themselves to the game. And I just feel like, bro, I could go out there and do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But Eli Apple was making it so difficult for me to not feel like I could at least remotely done a better job. And I will not say I could have done a better job at defending Cooper Kupp as an Eli Apple or whatever the case may be. But dog, this is what irks me with cornerbacks. And I want to have a cornerback on the podcast. I don't even want to just have a cornerback on the podcast. I want us to like go out literally on the football field for an episode and have a cornerback walk us through just like whatever man-to-man, da-da-da-da-da principles there are. Because this happens 1,010% all the time. And I understand the nuance between like you can't move faster than the ball. So like the fastest the ball moving, like your reaction time may not be as like quick to be like, oh. But bro, the game winning touchdown, back shoulder throw. He is literally looking at Cooper Kupp, stare the ball in the eyes, and is making this motion. And for whatever reason, he doesn't like try to make a play and simultaneously turn up. Nathaniel. I'm just like, bro, like, what are they teaching defensive backs? Like, I don't know, bro. I think I got better hand-eye coordination than most, and I just don't understand how you don't make that play. Now, I'm just talking about that one specific play.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. So I'll comment on Eli Apple as a player who he's been in the NFL his entire career, and then we can comment on that play. So number one, Eli Apple was a top 10 pick number 10 by the Giants in 2016. He has never lived up to that pick. He had trouble with the Giants when he first got there as a rookie. Other guys in the defensive backfield was like, this guy's immature. He's not ready to play. His PFF grades, because I know I like PFF. His PFF grades every year since he's been in the league, 62, 64, 62, 63, 55, and 61. This past year, 61. He has been average every year that he's ever played. At best. Average. Now, could any of us go out there and play better than Eli Apple? No, none of us can, right? The reason why he keeps getting opportunities is because, hey, man, he ran a 4.4. He's tall. He's lanky. He's 6'1". He's got the prototypical size, speed combination. His hips move well. He looks good in the drills. Hey, maybe it's not the player. Maybe it's the program. So we get him over here with us. Maybe it'll all click together. That's why he keeps getting opportunities, right?
Fool's gold.
But he just can't keep putting it together. One of his biggest issues is he's terrible at the catch point. Right now, if Eli Apple was even average at the catch point, right? Versus the Chiefs, Eli Apple should have had a pick six touchdown, which would have sent them to a Super Bowl. Right. Luckily, 2 plays later, Jesse Bates got a pick. Right, and set them up so they can get to field goal position very easily, right? But he dropped a pick. A few weeks earlier, he had a chance to get 2 picks on Patrick Mahomes, dropped him, right? This has been who he is. Sometimes he's there, sometimes he's not. He's horrible at the catch point, right? Reminds me of week 1 through 8 with Tyson Campbell in Jacksonville. Tyson Campbell finally figured it out, so. Fingers crossed that he continues doing better at that part. But that's just who Eli Apple is, man. He's always been terrible at the catch point. Sometimes some guys just aren't comfortable with when the ball gets there. And no matter what coaches do, they don't spend hours and hours and hours and reps trying to learn how to track the ball, trying to learn how to get their hands where the ball is, learning how to catch the ball when it gets there. that's always going to be an issue. So, you know, you
should not be an NFL corner starting if you're not comfortable or decent at the catch point.
I mean, you have a point there, but the thing is, there's a lot of guys who are not comfortable at the catch point. There are a lot of NFL corners who are not comfortable at the catch point.
I understand that, but
a lot of starters who are good who are not comfortable at the catch point.
Okay, but none of them are Eli Apple.
Okay, yeah, obviously, yeah. Yes. Eli. There's only one Eli Apple, but there are a lot of starting cornerbacks in the NFL who have a long career.
I mean, and like I said, like I see it a lot. I feel like a lot of guys, a lot of corners, they don't really react well to the ball being in the air and being able to play on that man and the ball simultaneously. So I get that, but it's just like, bro, my God. Y'all can add on, but I'm gonna go through some of the torture. So Eli Apple obviously brought all of this on himself, as people were saying. So after they beat the Chiefs, he had tweeted out, "Oh yeah, that Chiefs cheetah pack finna hit crazy this second time." So he wanted to start off with we smoking on the Chief pack. And so after they lost, Miko Hardman.
Hey, real quick, Edward. Speaking of stuff that's hitting, right now this little rum that I had right before this little shot is coming into play, bro.
Oh my God! But hey, look,
nigga said Rona.
We're going to have to take a because Isaac was gone, so we're going to have to take a second one because Isaac was gone.
No, but I can't do a second one.
You took a shot, Coach?
Yeah, I took the last episode. So Dace was like, "Hey, yo, let's take a shot." We was trying to wait on you, man, but it was taking.
We got to take another one because Isaac was gone.
Man, my bag had broke in the parking garage, bro, and then I had to improvise. I said, "I got my jacket on." I say, "Oh, let me get my jacket and just," you know what I'm saying? So I had to, you know. Hey, but yeah, man, let's get that shot in, man. I think I got some rosé in the cabinet, man.
Go ahead.
Also, after the Bengals had beat the Chiefs, Eli Apple he tweets Miko Hardman and Cheetah, what's his name?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, T Hill. DM me y'all number and I'll look y'all up and I'll hook y'all up with some Super Bowl tickets on me. So he's like trolling big time since he didn't finally made it to the Super Bowl, right? And so after that, basically everybody, like I said, got on them. I'll give them a shout out. Go to on Twitter at simply AS10. Again, at simply 8S10, and they literally made a highlight video of Eli Apple getting cooked in the Super Bowl. So,
well, actually, let me say this. Let me say this too. So because I learned this from the guy who taught me some of the most I know about DB play. Now, the Eli Apple getting cooked in the Super Bowl, if they just did routes here and there, even when the ball wasn't coming to them, there's a lot of DBs that you can do that with, right? Especially when they're playing man coverage, right? The game is, you can do that with Jalen Ramsey, right?
Yeah, man, it's geared towards the offensive player to be successful.
But one thing I learned when I started coaching DBs is, hey, in football you play 11s, you don't play 7s, right? So usually when the demons are called as a man-to-man coverage, there's usually pressure coming, right? Because there's the bet that, hey, we'll get there before the ball comes out, or we'll make the quarterback rush so he doesn't throw an accurate pass, so that even if our guys get beat, which they probably will on the back end, the pass won't be able to get there. So man-to-man coverage, there's a lot of guys that get beat that can, and even look like they're getting beat. And if the ball doesn't come out perfectly on time, they can have time to recover, right? So this is another reason why Eli Apple is still in the NFL. He's fast enough to where he can recover, right, when he does get beat, right? So sometimes you might see him actually break up passes, and you're like, oh snap, Eli Apple broke up a pass. Well, it's because the ball didn't come out on time, and he was able to recover and get there, right? So
he recovered.
Eli Apple's last game in the NFL. He probably has another 2 to 4 years in the NFL, and you'd be like, gosh, why did he keep getting signed? Well, because he does have another
season. I'm gonna need you to recover like the game is on the line. However, Miko Hardman, wish you was better. I wish you was a better corner, bro. Then the game-winning touchdown wouldn't have been scored on you. Eli Apple, yeah, and then he posts again. It's cool, big bro. You might get one of these shown on a video, his Super Bowl ring. But in the meantime, just get better at your craft. Tyreek Hill laughed, man. Then Michael Thomas played on the Saints, who played with Eli Apple.
Somebody said this Apple pack in the heat.
Nah. Michael Thomas.
What I'm trying to figure out is
Eli going to Eli. Then Hollywood Brown, Apple Pack going to hit hard in LA, and then you got a picture with Lamar Jackson with like a joint in his mouth. And then CD Deuce, all I see is Apple Pack, or is this burnt toast? And then it went so far. This random restaurant, I forget what city, this random restaurant was serving a Eli Apple special, which is 2 burnt pieces of toast and diced apples. So it went that.
Hey, bro, you know what's crazy, man? He has no self-awareness, man. Like, it's like, bro, why you keep talking mess?
And didn't his mama like make a comment about him early on in his career? Like, she had made a comment like publicly when he was on the Giants. That nigga's man,
bro. It's like man, like
how's a player that gets cut from multiple teams, ringless, taunt players that have rings? How does that work? That's my.
How about,
I'm trying to compute that.
Taunt players that are better than you, that have more accolades than you, that have more, dare I say, money than you, have more cachet than you.
More of a household name.
Hey, he was top 10.
Oh, now you're a household name for sure.
Have more money than some of these
whose
guys.
mothers don't comment on their career and jobs.
But I tell you what, though, he's a household name now.
I mean,
you wanted some fame, nigga. You got it. You wanted it. Here it is.
He been
talking about you. Yeah.
Well, he got his stamp for sure, though. He got his Super Bowl stamp. He wanted one. He got one.
And the Cowboys been abusing that boy for years, man.
And you find a way to talk about the Cowboys. That is so Cowboys-ish of you. Thank you for that.
Hey, so check this out real quick. Eli Apple's mom, right? So this anchor posts a tweet. Super Bowl Sunday says, "Such an incredible experience providing coverage at my first Super Bowl, unlike Eli Apple." So she takes her shot, providing coverage at Super Bowl, get it. And then Eli Apple mom responds by saying, "I can't believe that. Word on the street is you catch a lot of balls." So she takes a shot back at the female reporter. So yeah, man. Yeah. It was all. I'm sorry, bro. It was all bad for Eli Apple in this game. It was.
Why your mama coming and defend you, bro? Like, out of all people, not your brother, not your cousin, not your partner, but like your mom.
Tell that boy to sit down. She didn't tell him to sit down, man.
Like how LeBron did his mama went to lunch. Hey, man. All with our podcast to be straight down before it take off. Let me not say nothing bad about it.
So getting out Eli Apple, talking about Cooper Kupp. I was thinking this and watching him play. Can Cooper Kupp, is Cooper Kupp put in like just a great system, or is he just flat out all around a great wide receiver? Can he go somewhere else and produce the same productivity, or is like he's just like a perfect fit for where he is at with the LA Rams? And or also, do y'all consider him the best wide receiver in the league currently?
All the above. My opinion.
Damn.
He just at least in the aspect of technical. He's like the Tim Duncan of football. I'll say that.
Whoa!
I say he was the Eminem of the
This
league.
year, okay, this year, god dog.
That's why.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
No,
Keep
I
going.
think
Keep going, though,
Yeah, I'll say that Tim Duncan just for this year, obviously, because I mean, football is a different, build a different way they deal with it. But yeah, he was very technical. As you heard from the interview, he was saying, we're on the XY slot, and I seen this, and it was like Chinese to everybody else. But if you're a football head, you know exactly what he was saying. Back in the and it's just like the way he looks at the game, the way he does it, holds the flashiness. He say that after he wins, and hardly when he wins, he stays composed. It reminds me of Tim Duncan. You're gonna get emotion out of him, but it's not gonna be the typical emotion you're gonna see. It's gonna be a person that just knows my apologies. He knows his fundamentals, and he just knows how to play his sport. And that's what I noticed with kind of reminds me of Tim Duncan. Like Tim Duncan didn't have a special flashy go-to move. He just know how to put the ball inside of the hoop, and that's what Cooper Kupp knows how to do. He knows how to catch the ball and get it past that goal line. So yeah, man. And honestly, that definitely goes to all the accolades that Edward just listed, which is, is he the best receiver or, was it just the best system? It's like, it's just like Tim Duncan. You can put Tim Duncan on a different team and he'll be successful, but he won't be as successful as he would be with the Spurs and around this other player here and with this, and so on and so forth. So I think it's just a perfect, beautiful situation, plus being a great receiver.
Somebody before y'all go, somebody who's on record for giving him his praise long before he had the season he's had. Cooper Kupp is the most underrated receiver in the league. This is via Twitter, November 23rd, 2020, coming from none other than who some consider the best receiver in the league, Davante Adams.
Exactly. Davante Adams is the best receiver in the league. Then it's Stephon Diggs. And then it could possibly be Cooper Kupp. But I feel like Cooper, like I said before, I apologize. I feel like he's the Eminem of the league. He's simply a technician. You know what I'm saying? He does his job very well. It's not just a system. He's dedicated to his craft, that he goes out and he executes. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't matter who his quarterback is, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford. You know what I'm saying? Just interchange quarterbacks however you like. And his play is going to be prevalent.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to second that what Stacey just said. I would definitely put Davante Adams as number one. I think Cooper Kupp definitely does have a conversation being in the top three. I'm not sure if I'll put Stephon Diggs in the top three, but he is top receiver in the league there. As far as the system though, I will still give Sean McVay credit that he does maximize everything that he can get out of Cooper Kupp. He would do what my guy Siobhan, who I used to work with at a car dealership, used to tell me, hey, squeeze all the juice out of every lemon, right? So get everything you can out of every deal. And so Sean McVay definitely squeezes all the juice out of Cooper Kupp. Don't none of y'all go gay on me. Don't go gay. Don't go gay.
You went gay on yourself.
I'm just saying, no. So I'm saying he gets everything he can. He gets everything he can out of Cooper Kupp. So,
and y'all take shots without me on the podcast, and that's crazy.
Don't worry, though. Hey, we can get one. We can get one before I get out.
Hey, enough out of you. All right.
I was just like, what is he talking about? Don't go. Anyway.
Because I said that Sean McVay squeezes all the juice out of. Never mind.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
So,
Coach Johnson, what has gotten into you?
It's rum. What's gotten into me? It's rum.
Yeah, you might be a lightweight.
I am. I don't drink it often.
I can tell. I would probably have to third, unfortunately, second coach's take. I am gonna have to go Davante Adams as being the best receiver in the league. However, just as far as being a technician and a route running savant. I will put him second behind only, and that is only. Probably gonna get a lot of flack for this, but in my opinion, I think Antonio Brown is still probably the best technician and route running wide receiver in the league. He just is, bro. If you put the tape on, wide stem release, speed release, outside, he has the whole package. I mean, coach shaking his head because technically he is. He just does not have a job, but he is in the league. He has not been suspended by the league. He has not been.
He might get a job next year, bro.
He deserved one.
I don't know about
if we going on performance on the field.
Yeah.
But the only reason I didn't say Antonio Brown because to me he's not in the league. He did some whole jumping jacks.
And I'm gonna say Cooper Kupp is a close second. Behind that, and with Odell Beckham Jr. being honorable mention at third, man. I just think those guys are technicians running routes out there at the wide receiver position. But just to answer the question more specifically, I think Cooper Kupp has had the best wide receiver season ever in the history of the NFL. Absolutely, unequivocally, you can't take it away.
Yeah.
Real
quick before you go, Edward. I'm glad that Sean Hart brought up Odell. I just want to we talked yesterday about
how quickly we forget.
I'm glad that Odell was able to get him one. I'm glad that he was able to showcase that he is still one of the top receivers in the game. One of the best route runners. I would probably say top 5 route runner in the game.
Yes.
Some of the best hands in the game. Sure, every once in a while we have a concentration drop, but gosh, dog, man, I have no idea what happened in Cleveland. But I'm tired of the Odell hate. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, he's done." So I'm glad that he was able to showcase all of his talents this past year and to get him one. But obviously, Cooper Kupp, though, man, definitely a top 3 receiver in the league. Still going to give the nod though to Vontae Adams.
Cooper Kupp having by far one of the greatest statistical seasons as a receiver. Super Bowl stats: 8 receptions, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns, game-winning touchdown on we all know who. Playoff stats: he had a touchdown in every playoff game. He had a playoff record with 33 receptions, and he also had 478 receiving yards for 6 total touchdowns in the playoffs. Regular season, he got the receiving triple crown, leading the league in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. 145 receptions, 1,947 receiving yards, and 16 receiving touchdowns. And he had the Super Bowl MVP, All-Pro first team, and was the Offensive Player of the Year. I think I look at Cooper Kupp, and to me, he would be one of the poster childs of the marathon continues. When you just think about coming out of high school, zero stars, no football offers, all the way to where he is now. Just, a testament to all you just really need is your shot. All you really need is just to get your foot in the door and just have your chance at making history. He is the 4th player in NFL history to again receive the receiving triple crown, again leading the lead in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. The other 3 players to do it: Jerry Rice, Sterling Sharp, and Steve Smith. Just a phenomenal year. He couldn't ask for nothing better as a player, I believe, other than the season Cooper Kupp had. So man. So whether or not he is the best receiver in the league, that's debatable for whoever you're talking to.
It's an argument, though. It's an argument. It's not. There's an argument for it.
Right. True indeed. So I'm gonna read off some stats. I'm gonna read off some more stats, and y'all just tell me if y'all deem this Hall of Fame worthy or not. All right. Fourth all time in yards per game throwing, 11th all time in completions, 12th all time in passing touchdowns, 12th all time in passing yards, and he is the first quarterback since Eli Manning in 2007 to win a Super Bowl after leading the league in interceptions. We're talking about Matthew Stafford. In that 07 season, Eli Manning had led the league with 20 interceptions. This year, winning the Super Bowl, Matthew Stafford led the league with 17 interceptions. Is he Hall of Fame or not?
No. No, he is not a Hall of Famer. No, he is not. Matthew Stafford is a good quarterback. Bruh, there's a question if Eli Manning is a Hall of Famer. It's a question. And he has 2 Super Bowls.
What qualifies? Is it just stats? Name? Break it down for me.
Hey,
hold on. Let me interject real briefly. So somebody, I guess you could say, who shares Christian sentiment, that being Richard Sherman. This is what Richard Sherman had to say about whether or not Matthew Stafford is Hall of Fame, considering all of those numbers I just gave y'all. Richard Sherman. The Hall of Fame bar is incredibly low now, like a participation trophy. Talking about Matthew Stafford, no all-decade team, no all-pro, no MVP, 1 Pro Bowl, not even MVP of the Super Bowl. Never considered the best in any year he played. At least Matt Ryan has an MVP. So that is what Richard Sherman had to say about Matt.
He ain't lying.
He's not lying. Bruh, in order to make the Hall of Fame, I like this standard from gosh, I can't remember his name.
Before you go, Christian, and just taking a little bit of what you're about to say, in order to make the Hall of Fame, I don't know if you're going to parentheses this or emphasize this, but in order to make the Hall of Fame as a quarterback in the NFL, because I think making the Hall of Fame varies from position to position and like what you could like contribute or dedicate in your position and your role on the team. But in order to make the Hall of Fame as a quarterback, but the floor is yours.
Okay. All right. Well, in order to make the Hall of Fame as a quarterback or whoever, I'm going to go with. I like the standard from Sam Monson, the PFF podcast. This is his standard. During your time playing, were you ever considered top 5 at your position for an extended period of time? If you were considered one of the top 5 players at your position for an extended period of time while you were playing, then yes, you should be in the Hall of Fame. If not, no, you should not make it. That should be the standard. Matthew Stafford, yes, he has had talent. He was the number 1 pick for a reason. He has a lot of arm talent. But here's the thing. Every once in a while, you hear this from Detroit Lions fans who loved him the entire time that he was there. And everyone likes to say, oh, he didn't have the players around him, had probably the best receiver to ever play the game. There's an argument for that. Even when he was there these last few years, right? He had a trio of receivers there. And he had talent, right? Detroit wasn't always just bereft of talent. He had talent there. But every once in a while, Matthew Stafford figured out a way to throw the game away, right? He almost did this one. He's almost done it every game except for the last 2 games. He's almost did the last 2 games, right? So, you know, if I think Jaquaski Tart or whoever number 3 is for the 49ers, if he would catch the interception, 49ers would have been the Super Bowl, right? Had interception right in his hands, right? So Matthew Stafford every once in a while would throw a game away. Even though he might have all the yards, he has all the arm talent, every once in a while he might throw a game away, right? Everyone knows that, right? There's a reason why he led the league in interceptions, and in the biggest moment of his career, gets a chance to win a Super Bowl, to tell the Rams, you were right for trading, you know, however many first-round picks for me. He throws 2 picks. So is this the type of guy you want to put in the Hall of Fame? No. Hey, it's okay. He was a very good quarterback. He had a very good NFL career. He's not a Hall of Famer. Not a Hall of Famer. Phillip Rivers, question, maybe. I don't know. On the cusp, Hall of Fame. On the cusp, maybe.
On the cusp, yeah.
Eli Manning, 2 Super Bowls. I don't know, maybe.
I like
I think
Phillip
those
Rivers
Super
numbers
Bowls.
better
I
than
think those Super Bowls, even though like you kind of is like iffy, those Super Bowls do give you like a little bump over, whether people agree with that or not. And
Yeah,
he
I mean, sure. It gives you a bump. It gives
and he beat the GOAT.
Yeah, and
Right.
Tom Brady, right? So sure. But you know, so if you have a quarterback who has 2 Super Bowls, and we're still questioning if this guy should be in the Hall of Fame, why should we even start to have that conversation about Matthew Stafford? We should not. That should not be on the table. Matthew Stafford is not a Super Bowl. If he retired today, and he would get in the Hall of Fame maybe 20 years down the line. He would not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It will be a question for years to come. Should Matthew Stafford be in? And by that time, we would have forgot about him.
When has the Lions ever been a successful franchise? Is the question I ask you. Even Barry Sanders retired because of it.
I understand that.
So that's my thing with it. So wait. That's
Calvin
my thing
Johnson
that I'm
retired
arguing
as
is
well.
like, all of a sudden, once he goes to LA, gets a decent, gets a pretty good gets pretty good position, he wins a whole Super Bowl the first time. Other person who never did that was obviously Tom Brady. So it's just like, it made me just think like maybe it's something wrong with the Lions organization. Not saying that's not necessarily Matthew Stafford. Maybe he hasn't had enough chance to be in a good position to be able to like strut his stuff the way he want to. Like I said, Jared Goff has looked even worse with the Lions. He was already, he looked okay with the Rams. Obviously, with the Super Bowl, he looked okay. He looks even worse with the Lions.
You had me there in the first until you started bringing up Jared Goff. I'll have you know there's an interesting stat going on now, and I'll let you look it up. Edward, if you don't mind, I know you're in front of the computer right now. Go ahead and look up Jared Goff's stats without Sean McVay, and yeah, it's just a tale of 2 entirely different people.
Well, he finally
not
got
even comparable.
First win this season.
It's exactly. The man didn't have a win without Sean McVay. Like
that's the same. Like look at the backgrounds. Like,
yeah. Well, okay. Here's the thing. Matthew Stafford. Okay, here we go. If he's a Hall of Fame guy, right? If he's a Hall of Fame guy, he's the most important player at the most important position. Okay. If he's a Hall of Fame guy, he turns around Detroit.
Barry Sanders couldn't even turn around Detroit.
He does not play. He was not the most important player at the most important position. Calvin Johnson was not the most important player at the most important position.
Oh, hold on. Real quick. How do y'all feel about this argument, right? How do y'all feel about this argument? Calvin Johnson is in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Now, you can argue and say, hey, any quarterback could have got him the ball. I can understand somebody saying that, but like, does he get to the Hall of Fame if like Matthew Stafford isn't being what he was at that moment?
Yeah, I think Calvin Johnson would have, because he was undeniably great, bro. He was like T.O.
First guy seen in league history get triple team. Literally, he got double team on the line at the line. I said, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, he was undeniably great. He was bigger than everybody, taller than everybody, faster than everybody, had better hands than anybody. It didn't matter. So yeah, he was. If he would have played any longer, man, it would have been unquestioned. Like if he would have played 5 more years, there would be, hey, Jerry Rice or Calvin Johnson, who's the best?
Why is that? Why do you think he didn't play 5 more years, or at least 3 more, 4 more, because of that Lions organization?
Okay, okay. Darnell. No matter where Tom Brady went, Tom Brady would have been great. No matter where Dan Marino went, Dan Marino would have been great. No matter where John Elway went to a terrible organization in the Denver Broncos. Terrible organization. They screwed up his first few years. There's a reason why he didn't have a Super Bowl. But he was still undeniably one of the best quarterbacks in the league when he was there. Everyone knew it. Matthew Stafford was not that. You can tell Hall of Fame, there's no question about Hall of Fame, no matter what the organization is, right? And we're going to have this conversation in about 5 years with Trevor Lawrence. The Jaguars are a terrible, as far as their football operations, a terrible organization. Terrible organization, right? But guess what? They have a shot because I believe this. But if let's just say this: if Trevor Lawrence is the generational talent that everyone thinks that he could be,
he turns that organization around.
He turns that organization around. He will, because he plays the most. He's the most important player inside the organization at the most important position. If he is who we all thought that he would be, he's going to turn it around. Matthew Stafford is not that guy. Matthew Stafford is not the reason that the Rams win the Super Bowl. He is not. He is not.
He's the reason why they. All right. So
he led the league in interceptions. Did you not? Did you not watch him play? Did you not watch him play those last 6 games where he almost gave away every game?
But did he?
Lost to the Ravens.
But did he? Did it happen?
Almost only counts in horse shows. Hey, I do remember the defense.
Tom Brady almost lost every last Super Bowl. So what does that mean?
we are
every last Super Bowl. He
also too. Hey,
when
they were asked last week, hey, if you can describe Tom Brady in one word, what would it be? What did I say? Lucky. Okay. Now.
No, you took that back.
Exactly.
Opportunist.
I took it back and said made the most of every opportunity. But we also got to remember, hey, in the Super Bowl, the defense only gave up 20 points. The defense
on games where Tom Brady stole plenty of interceptions and still found a way to win, still be successful. Not plenty, but he's thrown interceptions. He's had a iffy game, like, you could have done better. Come on now, don't do that. Don't use the fact he threw interception. You almost gave the game away, but he almost doesn't count. He was successful. He found a way to win. He found a way not to mess it up. And I'm not saying to make him a first ballot Hall of Famer or just throw him in there, but to automatically deny him and not discuss it is a bit of an insult. That's all I'm saying. I'm not throwing him in Hall of Fame.
I don't care if I insult him.
I do respect him and have somewhat of a conversation about him.
I don't care if I insult Matthew Stafford. He does not belong in the Hall of Fame. He does not.
It's the wrong target.
My opinion, not undeniably.
I don't deny my opinion either. He does
not undeniably.
Like, all right.
You get the point.
Y'all disagree on that. That's fine. That was great. I think Coach Johnson, for the first time before you lead a podcast, one last time, you have definitely got up under Darnell's skin. I've never seen that much vigor out of Darnell at all, unless I was talking about Kanye West.
Kanye West.
So yeah, man. This is definitely gonna be an episode strictly about the Super Bowl because we've been on over my time. But so what do y'all? What do y'all want to do? Y'all want to talk about Shaqiri, or do y'all want to talk about?
I ain't gonna lie, that ain't really news no more.
No, it is, Isaac. It is.
You got detail on it, I'm definitely down.
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah. All right, we'll go with Shaqiri. All right, so it's only news because she responded, Isaac. I personally think had she not said anything, nobody would have cared or paid it. No, never mind. But I guess she felt like she had a responsibility to say something. All right. So as we all know, past summer Olympics, she gets banned for taking marijuana, and they say, hey, you cannot compete in this year's Olympics, and so forth until I want to say another summer trial or something like that. But she got banned for smoking weed, said she did it because her mom had just passed. She just found that out, going through a lot. She did that, made that choice, so on and so forth, right? So it has now came out that Camilla Vilieva, who is a 15-year-old Russian figure skater, tested positive for a banned drug back in December. Right. So she tests positive for this drug. The International Olympic Committee say, all right, rules are rules. You're suspended. You can't compete. But the International Olympic Committee ruling to suspend her was overruled by the Court of Arbitration for Sports. They said, no, you actually can compete. So you would say, okay, well, why did she get to compete or whatever the case may be? So this, for the Camilla chick, again, she's a 15-year-old Russian figure skater. She basically confused her medicine with her grandfather's medication. That's her claim. She confused her medication with her grandfather's medication. Her medication is used for chest pain, but she took her father's medication, which is for heart problems. And his medication is known to give athletes performance enhancement. So because of that reason, that is why I ain't done yet, bro. So because of that reason, that is why the International Olympic Committee, that's her reasoning for being caught testing positive for an illegal banned substance. And again, she took this test back in December, but it's just not coming out now that she failed the drug test. So you also have, again, the International Olympic Committee they said she couldn't compete, but the Court of Arbitration of Sports said she could play. So the Olympic Committee was just like, hey, even if you compete, until the investigation is completely final and done or whatever, even if you do compete, if you place in the top 3, we are not going to award you with a gold, silver, or bronze medal. Then that's going on. Sha'Carri comes out of the woodworks and say, oh, well, the only reason they letting her play, the only difference in why they letting her compete, as opposed to not letting me compete, is because she ain't black like I am. And that's why they just decided that it's all right, fine and dandy for her to compete. So, Sedacious, you go. I see the smirk. You go first.
Honestly, man, I hate to sound coonish, but
it's Christian's last night. That's fine.
At this point, it's not gonna change. So putting your energy into it being messed up instead of putting your energy into overcoming like our people do, I feel like it's a waste of time at this point. You know what I mean? Honestly, you know what I mean? But and I don't want to feel like I'm bashing the people who still want to protest, who want to make an outcry. You know what I'm saying? You definitely do your thing. But for me and mine, it's just like, you know what I'm saying, just work twice as hard because we know we got to. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Because you don't want to die, and just keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion.
I'm gonna say it like this. Where's the young lady from?
Russia.
Now, okay, this is even better. That's what you call a country supporting their athlete. I felt like, due to your wording, it was an investigation. There was no investigation, in my opinion, as far as when it came to Sha'Carri, whether that was or not. They said there goes a publicly known American banned drug, and we're going to persecute her as if it's still a universally known, countrywide known banned drug. We don't care about the state. We're going to treat it that way. Why? For whatever reason, we are America, okay? And I looked at it like, just how they had the investigation to see about the pills and everything to get that resolved, America could have gave lawyers for Sha'Carri to do the same exact thing. They could have gave her lawyers say, hey, in this state it's this, it's that, and we need to support that, and we need to find every little loophole we can to do that. They didn't do that for Sha'Carri. They put her on blast on news and said, hey, what's your explanation? This young lady got a chance to actually get, I feel like there were lawyers involved. There were investigations to find the pills and prove this and that. And I feel like Russia was behind that young lady. America was not behind Sha'Carri. And that's all I got to say about that.